Hey guys, I have this idea for a video, trying to make a video every day, so hang with me if some of these might be a bad idea, but I think this one's a good one, so let's get started. I wanted to start taking a generation of gaming and taking the consoles from it and seeing which one I like the best and kind of going in putting an order in them. And how I'm going to do this, I'm going to talk about the consoles and talk about what I like and what I don't like, and then I'm going to at the end, I'm going to list them, tell you which one I think is first and last, and let's get started with the Wii. I couldn't decide if the Wii U should be in here or the Wii. But I'm going to go with the Wii and figure out what to do with the Wii U later because the Nintendo's cycles are kind of weird. But I think this is a good console personally because it was my first console. I hold a lot of nostalgia towards it because it was what I had. Most consoles, you don't want the plain, first model, but this one I think you do because it has GameCube backwards compatibility. In case you can't tell from this memory card sticking out top. GameCube was a console before this, so at the time when it came out, that was pretty modern because you probably were going to give away, but you're probably going to trade in your GameCube to get the new system, and you can play all your games on it. So that's kind of a benefit, I think. And one thing about the system I'm going to list is about this whole list is I'm going to list out how I want to. So if I have, depending on what games I've had on the system, and depending on all that, it's not going to be it's going to be what I think about it. So yeah, so for example, I got this really cheap, so it's going to go towards its favor. You can get these really cheap these days. I find a lot of them at thrift shops. I don't need a lot of them, so I only got this one. This was around $7. I mostly got it to be a GameCube, but I actually ended up liking my original Wii games better on this. It's a good console. It's built fairly well. You can put an SD card in it. Only problem I have is it's not HD. I like my games being HD. It's not like a big requirement, but with modern TVs, it's a little bit hard to hook it up. But yeah, that's one complaint that people have with it. Now let's get on to my complaint I have with it, which is the controller. I don't like the controller. Not because it's a bad quality. It's built fairly nice. I just don't like motion controls. That's my problem with it. You can hold it like this or like this. Some people like it. Some people like motion controls. I don't. And especially looking at other consoles, one thing it doesn't have is a lot of buttons. This claim to fix it. It adds an analog stick. It has 2 buttons right here. And I don't like it that much. This is what you'll be playing most of your games with those, so if you want to play it, you better get used to it, which is actually probably going to go against it in my opinion. Like I said, this is my first console, but not meaning I like it now looking back at it. And one thing, I don't have the original, but I have one. This is a classic controller. This is something aimed to fix it. It plugs in like the nunchuck does. The original one was black and not shaped like a GameCube controller and not green. So yeah, I remember it though. I had it. It wasn't built the best. It didn't have a rumble in it. The analog sticks seemed cheap. The plastic seemed cheap. Not bad, but not good compared to other consoles. And you can use it on every game. But one thing you can do is some games allow you to use a GameCube controller, which felt a lot better, had rumble. If, for example, Mortal Kombat Armageddon is what I think about. It's the best version of the game, especially if you can use a GameCube controller. Now, we're going to talk about the games that it has. Like I said, you can play backwards compatibility with, you can do backwards compatibility with GameCube. So you have all your good games on there, your Marios, your Zeldas, your Dragon Balls, your Resident Evils, and you have some pretty good offerings from that's made for it. You got Alone in the Dark, The Blob, Resident Evil 4, which adds motion control, but I think those motion controls are actually, I like those motion controls a little bit better. You got Drawn to Life, and you got My Sims, which I enjoyed My Sims. Not a lot of people did, but let's get on to the next one. And next one is PS3. I'm gonna put this one next. The controller is the only downside to me. This is the second model because the first model was really unstable, and this is the one you find more often. This one lost the PS2 backwards compatibility that the original model had, but it still kept the PS1 backwards compatibility. I think I said that right. It still has PS1 backwards compatibility. And yeah, the controller is very similar to PS2 and PS1. The only thing it adds is motion control, and it adds these analog triggers, which I don't like the controller that much. I think the controller is not as comfortable as other offerings, but it's built fairly nice and it can take a beating. Next, I'm gonna list the controller fell. You can tell it took a beating because it's still there. I'm gonna talk about some of the games. Like I said, I'm not a big collector on PS1 games, but you can play them. And I do like Final Fantasy. I like Gran Turismo. These are just the games I had. I have more, but I don't have that many heavy hitters from PlayStation 1 library. And they do have good exclusives. The exclusives on Nintendo are great, but they're also expensive. I'm gonna take my time. Yeah, but they're also expensive. That's one of the big problems with Nintendo that I would be against. But PlayStation has good exclusives. Like this one technically isn't exclusive because the number 3 went to Xbox, but it's basically exclusive to PlayStation. I think this game is great, just like many others. That's not as expensive. Nintendo's offering. That game is actually one of the more expensive exclusives, and it's $10. Little Big Planet's also around $10, but not as bad as Nintendo. Uncharted and Infamous are 2 great games for the price. I prefer more Uncharted, but Infamous is also good. There's more of them. There's 3 Uncharted games. I just grabbed number 1 off the shelf. These are extremely cheap if you can check from that price tag. It is 95 cents like each of these, and I think they're great games. You can get at least 7 hours out of Uncharted, and it's a great game. And next is 2 of the more pricey exclusives, which is what I paid for it. I know Uncharted can go for a little more. I paid around $5 each for these, which is great games. I played mostly through this God of War, my first God of War, and I beat Last of Us on here. It was around $5, and Last of Us I think is a must-play game. It's a very beautiful story. And these games, you can get them on other consoles, but I have them on PlayStation. Borderlands, I have Borderlands 1 and 2. Great games. I love them. And then Mortal Kombat is better on this because it has free online, which I really enjoy. And I got it for $3, so it adds to it a little bit. And then I got South Park Stick of Truth, which I just got on here, really cheap. Got it for $3. And then I got 2 Call of Duty games. I have more. I just want to throw these in because they're cheap. And like I said, PlayStation gives a point to me because it has free online. You don't have to pay for it. And I like Call of Duty games, but I don't play them that much. So I try to play them on PlayStation because they're $5 free online. And if you ever need an extra controller, it's cheap. Now, move on to our last console. We're going to move on to Xbox. This is the system. This is Model 2. I had Model 1 when I was younger, but yeah. The controller, I love the controller. It's very easy to hold. It fits your hand great in my opinion. And there's a reason that Xbox still basically uses the same controller. They haven't changed much about it because they perfected it. I love the controller. The only thing is, later down the line, they added a new D-pad, which I don't have. But yeah, that's it. I think the controller is a major thing for Xbox. I love it. And there's the system. This is the more reliable out of the 3, I think, because I think the last one was made cheaper. Not sure. I never had it. But, yeah, the only problem is with the build quality is that these are touchscreen buttons, which gets annoying over time. Like, if you don't mean to turn off your system and your cat pokes his nose at the light. That's happened a few times, and it's very annoying. Or if the cat accidentally ejects a disc, or if a cord presses up against the buttons. So that's one thing that kind of takes off from there. One thing, like all the other consoles, was backwards compatible. This one is too, but with original Xbox games, which is a big thing for it because original Xbox games are graphically good looking. Like, they're still good looking games. Like I said with GameCube, they were still new at the time, and it's only backwards compatibility is with you have to have Wi-Fi to download and update. That's one thing. It won't happen straight out of the box or straight out of the thrift store or wherever you buy your electronics. It had exclusives, but Xbox had exclusives, but I didn't like their exclusives as much. They had Halo, and they had Gears of War, and they had Fable. That's all I can think of at the top of my mind, and not my type of games. But these are games I played on there. I have a lot of memories of it. Soul Calibur 5, Batman Arkham Asylum, Dead Space 2, which I love Dead Space 2. And then we got the Red Dead Redemption and LA Noire. Only problem with these games is they work with Xbox One. A lot of them are starting to become backwards compatible. So eventually the Xbox 360 is going to be obsolete. Because like I said, the control is very similar. I play a lot of my Xbox 360 games on my Xbox One. There's not much point of owning it because you have to pay for online for all Call of Duties and everything. And like a lot of the games that you can, like that War came out on Xbox, that besides Halo and all that I don't care about, came out on PS3. So yeah, and they also had looking at my time, I also had a Kinect, which is kind of equal to the Wii. I thought it was nice. I got it not recently, maybe a year ago. I got it for around $5 for the Kinect and a few games. Yeah, I liked it, but that's not a system seller. It's fun though. But I'm gonna listen real quick. I'm gonna say PS3 is first because they're free online, the cheap game, the good exclusive, and I'm gonna say the Wii is second because it plays GameCube games. It plays GameCube games really well, and it has a lot of good exclusives. Only the problem is their exclusives are a little bit expensive on some cases. They're starting to go down, but most of them are still over $10 each, and you can get just as good exclusives, in my opinion, on PlayStation. And a lot of the online services for the Wii are being discontinued, which will happen eventually with the PS3, but don't remind me. And then I think the last is sadly Xbox, because their disc, I don't think I listed, their disc scratch. It's not Blu-ray. Especially if you have an original Xbox, they had a problem with laser burning your disc, which means you can't get it buffed out, nothing. It's laser burn. So in the system isn't the best built. I don't like the touchscreen buttons. And you can play most of the games on Xbox One nowadays. And all the original Xbox games I wouldn't play on Xbox One, I can play on my original Xbox. So that's the last. I love the console. I spent a lot of time on it. But that's what I listed. Xbox just didn't make it. So if you like this video, please like this video, and maybe tell me which generation you think I should do next. If I should do the Xbox One era, if I should do the original Xbox era, if I should do NES era, please tell me in the comments below. And I finally made this video. I had to reshoot it a couple times, and I think I like it. So please like and subscribe, and see you guys later.